What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. This is going to be the final video of season 21 as we go into season 22, and these were just some epic battles I had with Primeape the other day that I couldn't quite pass up. So we're going to have a fun little going away party here with Primeape, close combating out the season perhaps, and you're going to see some really epic matches within this video. So a good one to end out the season. And as I've been plugging in the last couple videos, if you want to send me your battles for the start of the season featuring newly buffed mons, newly added moves, link is in the description as per usual. But here we go. To close out the season, had some fun with this team consisting of Jumpluff, Galarian Corsola, and Primeape. We start things off against a Bibarel, and we are going to try and bait the Energy Ball. They don't fall for it. A nice play by them. I'm going to try and catch a Hyper Fang on my Corsola, maybe get them back a little bit after they called my bait. And it's a nice catch, right? We catch a resisted attack. However, we do lock ourselves in a bit of a negative matchup. But we are just going to stay in here. I probably should have thrown earlier because I would have put on the pressure rather than taking this Surf. But instead, I end up losing the charge attack priority here. At this point, since he's still staying in, I figure he probably doesn't have a better answer for Corsola. So actually going to commit the Protect Shield, get the farm down. And what is going to come in? It's going to be a Superior. So we're going to go for a Nightshade here. And do I swap out or do I just force them to expend energy? I think just forcing them to expend energy probably makes more sense because we can keep the alignment with our Jumpluff on the Superior here. But is Primeape going to have play in back? Not sure. I was expecting them to swap out, but they're actually staying in. They're going to throw the Aerial Ace, chunking away at our health. We're going to build up. To the point we're at 2 Aerial Aces here. Is Superior going to invest a protection? No, they save 2 shields for Annihilape. 2 shields for Annihilape in the back. This is going to be a close game. And they actually decide to take the Aerial Ace. What a bold play. And they top left. And honestly, I don't know if that was completely over. Because if they got to double Rage Fist, they only would need a little bit of health to potentially counter down our Primeape. So they top left. Maybe we would have had that anyway. But if not, that would have been a crazy sweep for the Shadow Annihilate. But it's on to the next one. On to the next one. And let's see. 3360. Unfortunately, didn't end the season with quite that high of elo. I fell a little bit to the 3200s, but still a solid elo to end the season. We did hit number 1 as well in season 21, which is a pretty cool achievement. First time I had hit it in like 10 or so seasons. And here in game number 2, our opponent makes a beautiful catch, catching Aerial Ace onto Clodsire. I decided to stay in for a little bit to bank some energy before going into Corsola. And the chip damage we did has put this Clodsire pretty much into double Nightshade range. However, that Gator has quite a bit of energy, right? So that Gator is still going to be a bit of a menace for us to deal with. And at this point, I'm 1 away from double Nightshade. So you might see me just elect to go for back-to-back Nightshades. But this is where sometimes you don't want to get greedy. You don't want to get impatient. Because they swap Diggersby, and because I was impatient, I throw Nightshade, whereas I could have probably gone for Power Gem at least, or maybe I could have even waited out my switch timer. Now I'm going to go for the close combat here. Maybe catching them off guard. Close combat knocks out the Diggersby before it even gets a move off, and then they make a bit of a mistake. They didn't realize I was 1 over, perhaps. So they're going to CMP lose on the Rage Fist. And now Primeape's done his job. So I'm just going to let it go at this point. Remember, I have a lot of energy on Jumpluff. So I come in, I Aerial Ace immediately. And this was a game that swung back and forth multiple times. It seemed like our opponent was in the driver's seat with that nice catch. But then we're able to capitalize on a few situations. We get both Protect Shields at this point. I just got to respect that Ice Beam. Ice Beam would one-shot us. Even a super effective move from Clodsire is not going to knock out from this range, so our opponent realizes it's over. And that is a good game. Next one here. Jumpluff into another Gator, okay? Another Gator. We're not seeing later. We're seeing right now. And we're going to overfarm here. And we're going to get baited by the Hydro Cannon. Of course, tough to no shield there since Ice Beam would one-shot us. We get a Protect Shield with the Aerial Ace. Going to build back up, and because of the pacing of Jumpluff, you're going to be able to bait again before they get to the next Ice Beam, which is nice. So we get the double bait. Beautiful. And once again, I'm going to respect the Ice Beam. Now, we just want to try and avoid them catching our Energy Ball on something. So I'm going to overfarm a little bit, and they actually settle for the Hydro Cannon. So I could have knocked it out before eating this Hydro Cannon. If you're wondering what that little animation is, that's someone rating us on Twitch. These battles were taken from my Twitch stream, which you should go follow, by the way, if you're not following, because I'll be going live probably an hour and a half, 2 hours after the new season drops today, and it'll be a lot of fun. But in comes Clodsire, so I figure I just have to kind of let myself get farmed down here, but not before I get off double Energy Ball, which is quite nice. That's a lot of chip damage here from Jumpluff, really putting in work. And we are going to go down. Now we, of course, will come in with Corsola because we can actually absorb this. But what is going to be the back Pokemon? Is it going to be something that Primeape can deal with shields down? I'm not sure. And they are going to fire off another Earthquake here. How much can we overfarm with Corsola? Have we been keeping track? We decided just to do one in throw. It's caught on a Zoomerol. What a catch. So now what do? I guess we have to come in with Primeape. And we are going to go up to 7 here. But I believe the Azu is at the Play Rough, so they can simply just throw the Play Rough immediately, in a wise choice by them. If they had done one more bubble, that Rage Fist I would have landed maybe would have given us a chance here. But no, smart play by them and a nice catch on the Azu. If I'm able to save that energy, I don't know if it really makes a difference, to be honest, because I probably would have needed to use it on the Azu in the end anyway. So well played by the opponent. Here we go. Jumpluff into Malamar. Positive matchup for Jumpluff just because of the Fairy Winds hitting for super effective. And you're able to withstand double foul play from Malamar. So I like being the Jumpluff here. We do land the Energy Ball, which is quite nice. In comes Drapion, and I don't have an obvious answer. So I'm forced to swap in Primeape behind Energy, which is not great because, as you're going to see, Aqua Tail really does chunk away at the health of Primeape. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist bait here. This is a little bit risky if they call it, but we do get the Protect Shield. That's big. And at this point, it's like, do I bait again? Do I go for it this time? I'm not sure. I'm going to build up, go for the Rage Fist here. Even if they call it, it'll still force them to throw Aqua Tail. So they do call it, but I get off a parting Rage Fist against this Malamar, which is quite nice. So Malamar is going to use that final Protect Shield. I come in with Drapion, or sorry, with Jumpluff. Going to eat the foul play here. Just going to get rid of this Malamar since it had a lot of energy. I want it off my screen. Expecting maybe Drapion to come back here since it had a crunch, I believe. And I decide, we don't know what's in the back. Maybe Jumpluff is going to be valuable. So I actually decide to shield Jumpluff here. And they're going to switch, and it's a Serperior. It's a Serperior, so we're going to get off some super effective damage here. Aerial Ace. Remember, I am debuffed. So I actually decide to, oh, I guess not. I go for the Aerial Ace. Maybe they weren't there yet. And I am going to swap in Corsola. At this point, Corsola can just fast attack everything down. Because we haven't taken really any fast attack damage, we would even live to Frenzy Plants if need be. They are going to get off a parting charge attack here. The crunch will knock us out, but Jumpluff still had a little bit of health. So one Fairy Wind does knock them out. GG. I couldn't tell. That might have been the damage registration error on Drapion. I couldn't tell if it did one Poison Sting there or not before the Astonish registered. But it's on to the next one. This is probably the last game of the first set, perhaps. Next opponent here. Jumpluff into Jumpluff. Okay. Now, if they are running Acrobatics, suddenly this becomes a negative matchup. Of course, if we're both running Aerial Ace, it is completely neutral. Gonna go up to 2. Gonna at least build up, right? You always want to threaten like you have Acrobatics, because then you might actually draw a Protect Shield. I'm gonna go for the back-to-back. They're still building energy. So now they have to throw right away, basically, because because they're at 99 energy. I could have maybe caught on Corsola. That would have been nice, but this is fine. And I know this is just an Aerial Ace, so I can let this go safely. And going for this next one, it's kind of a matter, do you go for the catch? Do you just go straight for it? In this Jump Bluff Mirror, it doesn't appear like the triple Aerial Ace is quite going to knock out. So I actually make a decision here, hoping that this is their best answer to Primeape. I hard pivot Primeape, giving up Switch, but giving a head start to the Primeape where it can be so dangerous. And in comes Corsola, and this is not bad at all for Primeape. This is not bad at all with Shield still in play. Primeape has a chance to go absolutely crazy here. We're going to go for another Rage Fist, boosting up our attack so quickly. Primeape putting on the pressure, and they give us a free one. I could have thrown out alignment there potentially. Gonna do one and throw. I think they have to shield this. I think at this point with our attack buffs, this would knock out. And I go for a catch, but it's costly. It's a costly mistake because they don't fall for it. They had to throw there, otherwise they would have got outpaced, and yet they still didn't throw. So that was crazy to not throw there. But I'm hopeful maybe, just maybe, our Corsola can have a positive matchup against the back Pokemon. What's it gonna be? Nope. It's a Diggersby. So even if we had knocked out the Corsola there with our Primeape instead of going for that catch, we wouldn't have had enough health on our Primeape to live the subsequent quick attacks. So the unsuccessful catch there didn't cost us. Luckily, it just it actually ended up being the only win con if you think about it, because I would have kept that energy, and maybe if I caught, I would have been able to get to a close combat at some point. So there we go. 33-63 after a 3-2 and plus 3 elo. Final set here that we're going to be showcasing here to end out the season. Positive lead. They swap Dugong. We meet it with our Primeape. Boom! A lot of times they don't shield the close combat because they don't think you're going to go for it right away with shield still up. Because if they shield the close combat, suddenly you're in jeopardy of getting just like 2 shielded, ice sharded down. But now we're going to land or get a shield from this Rage Fist rather. Now the awkward thing here is they probably have Ice Punch. I do lag there, so I get denied a Fairy Wind. I shield the Ice Punch. They stand for a while, and this is just pretty RPS. As long as we maintain the switch advantage, not a whole lot our opponent could do. Just kind of soft countered all the way through. So, yeah, tough one there for the opponent. Not a whole lot they could have done with that alignment. Primeape Gaming. I believe this set has a couple of, like, really crazy wins. A couple of really crazy wins. So, stay tuned. Out of these final 4 battles, I'm pretty sure Primeape goes insane. Channels his inner annihilating the opposition. Let's see if I can skip ahead a little. Okay. Next opponent here. All right, good lead. Jump Bluff going to deal double super effective Fairy Wind damage. Look at those Fairy Winds chunking. I mean, honestly, the Dragon Tails are doing almost as much, though. But we're going to generate energy quicker, of course. They go for the Brutal Swing. Unfortunately, I don't think double Aerial Ace is enough here, so I might have to take another Brutal Swing. But that's okay with me, because I could come out with energy. In comes Oranguru. I CMP them here. I thought I should have been 1 turn ahead. That's why I threw there, but I guess not. And this is awkward, right? We don't really have an obvious answer for this Oranguru. So I go for the Energy Ball. I get a shield. And I'm going to throw another Energy Ball, trying to make this more manageable for Corsola. Can't really come in with Primeape, right? As long as they still have a shield. So I'm kind of forced to come in Corsola. And even though this is a bad matchup, at least I can withstand the Brutal Swing a little bit better. Not super threatening. In comes Guzzy Wuzzy. We're going to go for the Power Gem here. Maybe grab that final Protect Shield. And that's exactly what we do. So at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I think I'm just going to put this all in the back of Primeape. And hope whatever's in the back, maybe I can beat up a shield. Because we're going to be able to Karate Chop down. I am going to shield the Dragon Claw because Primeape is very squishy. It would still do a lot. It's just a brutal swing, so I guess I could have let that go maybe. But it still would have done a little bit of chip damage. Expecting a Rangaroo, and I don't want to eat a Confusion. So I'm actually going to do one Karate Chop and throw the close combat before the Confusion damage registers. This is going to knock out a Rangaroo. What's in the back? I go, oh no, it's a Toxapex. So I swap to clear my debuff. But I'm like, yeah, this is probably over, right? There's no way, right? So, but you know, why not just stay in? Why not just try to fight it out? Pun slightly intended with Primeape. And we're going to go for a second Rage Fist here. This is going to boost our attack now to 2 stages. And remember, close combat's such a hard-hitting move. Even though it's resisted, it does more damage here. So we're going to go for... I'm like, wait. We're double boosted. Close combat does a lot. Could this knock out the Toxapex? And Primeape, with a sliver of health, beats Toxapex up a shield. Crazy. Crazy win there. I thought that was for sure over in the moment. But then I was like, wait a sec. Maybe? So, also a nice little reaction there to, like, just swap the jump bluff as soon as possible to clear our debuff. Because if we didn't do that, no way we would have reached that close combat in the end. Even if we had taken one more jab before doing that, we would have been toast. Another jump bluff mirror here. Aerial Ace connects. They landed the acrobatics, I believe, and they smartly are going to go for another acrobatics here, knowing they need that to knock out. I'm forced to come in here with jump bluff, or sorry, with Corsola against the jump bluff, knowing that I'm going to have to take another acrobatics, but maybe I can get a big farm down here and that energy could go somewhere. Acrobatics connects, and I come out with a lot of energy on Corsola. In comes Drapion. Okay, so I'm going to do one Astonish in Power Gem and look to do the same because I can safely do one more in Power Gem again before they can even get to a charge attack. And if they were to shield this, I would definitely look to swap out. Power Gem grabs the shield. We swap into Primeape. They throw at 5. I got to preserve health on Primeape, so I'm going to shield the potential Aqua Tail here. So they're at... Oh, in comes Annihilate. This is kind of scary, but we are ahead energy. They have to take this first one. And I'm thinking, how do I win this? I'm debating whether I let it go and farm down. I decided at the last second to shield because after I Rage Fist, I'm thinking my switch timer will come up soon and maybe I can Astonish down before they get to another. I switch here and we just barely get the Astonish down one turn before they are able to throw the move. And this is going to force them to crunch me here. Aqua Tail would not be enough. And I'm only 2 off the Rage Fist, I believe. 1, 2, we get to the Rage Fist in a crazy game. On paper, we were kind of countered all the way through. But because Corsola got such an energy advantage farming down that jump bluff, we were actually able to win the game. Crazy one there. I think those were probably the 2 crazy ones. So we'll see what happens in these last 2. Tough lead here. I save swap Corsola, met by Wigglytuff. Oh, you know what? I take it back. I think this is a crazy game as well because we're on paper getting totally hard countered here. On paper, we're getting totally hard countered. Dugong into jump bluff. Corsola versus Wiggles. Wigglytuff. Don't be fooled by its cuteness. Its cuddliness. It is a menace against this team in particular. It's pretty tough to deal with. It can hit everything pretty... It like destroys the back 2 mons and also has that Icy Wind coverage for jump bluff here. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll respect the Icy Wind and then maybe I can get a full farm down and threaten this Dugong with this energy ball. Expecting Dugong to come in, but they actually come in with Drifblim. So I'm going to go for the Aerial Ace. I'm going to stay here for now. And I'm going to make sure to overfarm, maybe threaten like I have Acrobatics. I'm thinking this is a pretty difficult situation, however, until we get the shield. And then I'm like, wait a sec, maybe there's play now. I fire off another Aerial Ace. This is going to put it into like Rage Fist range. Drifblim's like kind of medium bulk, not the bulkiest, but not the squishiest either. They're going to knock us out with Icy. They're 3 off. And now I'm thinking I can just throw this. If they shield, they're shieldless. If they let it go, Primeape outpaces. They don't really have a lot of good options here. So they Icy Wind us, but that's only going to reset us back to normal. And of course, we're expecting the potential catch. We're going to overfarm as much as we can. So now we have close combat plus Rage Fist. I really do need this to one-shot, however. Will it one-shot? Yes, it will. And we're one off the Rage Fist. And this should be enough to knock out Drifblim. That looked impossible. And granted, if the opponent had simply just sacrificed the Dugong against Pluff, maybe they would have won by like sweeping with Drifblim. But we will take it. We will take it. Or if they just never shielded that Aerial Ace on Drifblim, they also probably would have been fine. So definitely a little bit of luck going my way there. But still a pretty epic win, right? To lead Jumpluff into Dugong, Corsola met by Wigglytuff. On paper, we were triple countered, but we took advantage of a slight misplay. Oh no, not another one. Not another Wigglytuff, but this is where we want to see it. Although it's scary, this is where we want to see it against our Jumpluff here, where we have the most play. We're very bulky, where the charms aren't that threatening. And I decided to go for an Aerial Ace here. I don't know if this was smart, honestly. But I actually get the Protect Shield, so it works out. And I am going to invest a shield because I don't really have a reliable way of getting rid of this Wigglytuff if I was to let my Jumpluff go. They swap in Digger's Beat, and I regret throwing this Energy Ball. I probably should have just gone straight Primeape. I don't know why I really elected to throw the Energy Ball here. It's almost like a reaction. But they do me a favor by going straight for Fire Punch, because now I'm not really inclined to shield it. I build up to 1 before double close combat. This way, assuming Wigglytuff comes in, I can simply do 1 Karate Chop and throw another close combat, which they will have to shield or get knocked out. In comes Wiggles. They are going to shield it and charm us down. Makes sense. Look at how much those charms did after the debuffs. I come in with Pluff, and I can't really afford to let this go because I don't want a situation where he debuffs my Corsola and I can't clear it. Going for the Aerial Ace here, hoping this is enough. And we already have seen 2 normal types, so hopefully Corsola has a good matchup in the back. And look at this. It's against Shadow, Kanto, Marowak. They do have a bit of an energy lead, which is concerning, but I'm hoping Corsola can at least put this low enough where maybe Jumpluff can win it for us. We're going to have to eat 2 Bone Clubs. Is Corsola bulky enough to eat double Bone Club? They're going to go for another one right here. I wasn't sure if this would like barely KO in the moment, but looking back, yeah, it does seem like we would definitely live that. And Nightshade is going to knock out the Marowak here for a good game. Really fun team that we had a nice little run with here to end the season. And yeah, 5-0 set. There you go. Let's see what elo this puts us at. And once again, this is not the elo I ended at. This was probably from several days ago. But it was a really fun team where Primeape had some just crazy, crazy wins. And as we claim our rewards, 34-31. Not too shabby at all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Primeape Gaming, the season finale for me as we move on into the new season of the Go Battle League. Once again, send me your battles with all these newly buffed mons, newly added moves. It's going to be super exciting, and I can't wait to see what you guys have in store, and I can't wait to try out some new mons myself today. So if you're watching this video, in a few hours, I'll be going live over on Twitch where you guys can interact with me live. We can hang out, listen to some music, and hopefully have some great Go Battle League sets. All that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. All that said, thanks so much once again. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.